Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
Nick Kinsel.
I'm Tom Hoblin.
And the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs have begun. And you know what that means, boys. We got the 2023 Bracket Challenge. It's one of my favorite times of year. Who we think is going to make it through the playoffs, who we think is going to get eliminated, and who we think is going to be crowned champion at the end of the year at Phoenix Raceway. Going to be an exciting first round of the playoffs here, with it starting at Darlington, then moving on to Kansas, and then ending it at Bristol for the cutoff race. Three exciting tracks. We've seen Kansas surge to be one of the best tracks in NASCAR since the next gen car has come around. So I think that one is going to be an absolute banger, boys. So we're going to start off with you, Tom. We got these next three races. Who are your drivers do you think that are just going to excel? And who do you think is going to be the four drivers that will be eliminated and not make it to the round of 12?
Okay, round of 16. You have a chance to lose some good drivers just off fluky business. We've seen it a couple years around. First out, the 47. I don't think Stenhouse is going to make any noise. The 34, I know if the 34 makes the round of 12, he makes the round of 8. But I don't think he's going to make the round of 12. So Mike McDowell's out. Then I say Kevin Harvick is out. They're just too inconsistent, not showing enough speed. And I don't see it happening for him, unfortunately. Sorry, bud. And then one kind of weird one, but makes sense. Ross Chastain. I think they've been too inconsistent. I don't think he makes it out of this first round.
Wow. Tom, I gotta say, great minds think alike, because that's exactly the four that I have not advancing to the round of 12 either. Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He to me, he's like the Austin Dillon of last year. He made it because he won the Daytona 500. I mean, that's a great win for that team. He's been running better all year. But he's like a 15th place car, and even though this is the round of 16, 15th place finishes they're not gonna advance you. I mean, and then same thing with McDowell. I just don't like these tracks for him at all. He's been kind of the one to say like, "Oh, I think we can show up to any track every week and run 10th." I'm not buying that. I haven't seen that enough from him this year,
Especially the past 2 weeks with his mechanical issues he's had.
Right, and especially I don't like his chances at Darlington. I don't think that's a great track for him. And Kansas, he might have not Kansas, and then Bristol. It's just gonna be tough to pass, and I just don't see him being a top car there. Yeah, I also had Kevin Harvick missing the round of 12 for ending his playoff early. It's just the speed of Stewart Haas racing. It just hasn't been there. It's inconsistent. Kevin did run. I want to say he ran second at both Darlington and Kansas earlier this year, but that was also earlier in the year when it looked like the speed was a little bit more promising out of those cars. But something's just changed. It's just gone away. And then he can go out and win Bristol too. Like, I'd love to be wrong. I want to see Kevin Harvick have a Cinderella run here. Not even a Cinderella run. I want to see him go out with a bang, but I just don't see it happening. And then Ross Chastain, he was my kind of wild pick too, just because he just hasn't been there. Trackhouse, it's been a down year for them. A lot of inconsistency. Minus the win at Nashville, we have not seen Ross Chastain run up front, and I just don't think he's going to care.
Not since last Darlington when he got scolded by Rick Hendricks.
I just don't think it's going to be his time to shine. So, yeah, those are the four I see not advancing. But what's cool about this is, or what makes this interesting, is the points are really close right off the bat. So one mistake by any of these guys that are currently in, and they're looking at must wins, or they're digging themselves out of deep holes. So it could be interesting.
Man, you boys break my heart with Kevin leaving early. God.
I mean, look, they asked Kevin what he expected from the playoffs after the Daytona race, and he said, "I don't know. I couldn't tell you." Like, he's not confident. And when your driver's not confident in the team, what does that say? How is he supposed to go get it done if the driver can't even say, yeah, we're gonna go fight with everything we got. No, he's just like, I don't know.
Maybe he's hiding something. Who knows, boys? But I do not have.
What has he got left to hide? He's got 10 races left.
I do not have Kevin Harvick getting eliminated. I got Ross Chastain. Like you guys said, it just has not shown that race winning speed that we saw out of him last year.
He doesn't have that championship Ford drive that he had last year.
No, not whatsoever.
It's not there.
I got Ryan Blaney getting eliminated here early.
Fair.
I mean, just another guy that just has a cloud of bad luck around him. I think it's going to hit him hard in this round. Michael McDowell, we do not have a road course here, so I'll see you later, bud. And obviously, Ricky Stenhouse is going to be eliminated, but I think a couple guys are going to be strong throughout this round. I think Bubba Wallace, I think he is going to pull off a win at Kansas and get himself locked into the next round. That guy, the 2311 is just freaking good there. And I don't know, guys. I have faith in that Ford car. I think he's going to do well at Darlington this weekend. It's still Kevin Harvick. And I think these are 3 tracks where he just excels: Darlington, Kansas, and Bristol. He does great at all 3 of these tracks. So I think he's going to have a great round and move on.
He just needs the car. They need to give him a car. They have not given him a car because Stewart-Haas Racing, their equipment there is just gone to shit. So I really want to see Kevin excel in these playoffs, but they have to give him the car because he can only do so much with a piece of junk.
I mean, I wouldn't even call it like a piece of junk. It's not like he's finishing like 25th every week. I mean, the guy, he's getting top 10s. He was so consistent. He made it into the playoffs. So
it's the playoffs, and you got to be better. You got to be better. You got to show up with more consistency. And I don't see it. And again, like you said, Bubba has been strong at these tracks. I think that he's the only one that's under the line right now that's going to be able to lift himself out of there. And the evidence that I have is more recent to when he was getting set up and he was points hunting before the road courses, because he gave himself enough points cushion to stay in the playoff race, playoff hunt, setting up those road courses. So I think that's what Bubba has. And I don't think Kevin has enough to overcome even a few points. I think all these guys are going to show up with their best stuff, and Stewart-Haas's best stuff is not as good as RFK's best stuff or Toyota's best stuff.
You guys just wait till he gets on that Tony Stewart 2011 run, and then we'll talk at the end of the year.
Well, I'm thinking we're all so confident about the 34 that he's got to be confirmed to go to the championship 4 at this point, you know? He's got to be a shoo-in. Anytime anybody criticizes him, he turns around, lights a fire under him.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk round of 12. We got Texas, Talladega, and Charlotte. Nick, we'll start off with you. Who do you got excelling through this round, and who do you have getting eliminated?
So excelling through the round, this is a tricky round.
Always
I
is.
mean, Talladega being in that second race, that's your wild card race right there. You can even call the Roval almost kind of a wild card race. Some crazy shit always goes on there. And then Texas. Texas is just Texas. So excelling, I think your top guys excel here. Your Byrons, your Truexes, your Hamlins. I think those are your 3 strongest guys right now. So I think they're going to excel. But unfortunately, I think that the round of 12 is going to be the end of the road for Mr. Bubba Wallace. I think he's going to be my first guy out here. Just that road course, the Charlotte Roval, and then the unpredictability of Talladega. You just don't know what happens there. So I think it's end of the line for Bubba Wallace. Next, I'm saying goodbye to Ryan Blaney. Again, just I don't see, unless he goes out, he can very easily go out and win Talladega and prove me wrong here. But I just really don't like these tracks. And yeah, he won the All-Star race at Texas, but it's just you don't know what you're going to get from Ryan Blaney. You're either going to get something great or the wheels fall apart with him. And then next on the list, I think we're also saying goodbye to Joey Logano. I know Joey Logano, he thrives in these playoffs. This is where he gets hot, but just Penske Racing as a whole, this hasn't been their year either. They're not the top Fords anymore. I really think that RFK is pushing into being those top four. So that's why I think both RFK cars are moving on. But I see the end of the road for both Penske cars here. And then last but not least, having another big name go out here in the round of 12. That's going to be the end of the road for Kyle Busch and the 8 car. I don't like the tracks here. Yeah, he won Talladega, but the Charlotte Roval has just been disaster for him. We've seen that plenty of times before, and just the unpredictability of Talladega. And then he can go win Texas. Who knows? But I think that's where the end of the road is for Busch. So my 4 out: Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch.
Wow.
Yeah. My Kyle Busch purist in me doesn't like that, but I think I have to try to put biases aside here. That being said, I still have Kyle Busch advancing. RCR, I think, is just very strong at Fall, Texas. So
yeah,
I can't imagine him. And then, yeah, like you said, Talladega is a crapshoot. So you can't, you can almost not even look at this year's winner as an idea.
You can't just go in there banking on somebody's going to just go out and win that thing straight up.
I mean, again, we saw that this weekend with Stenhouse at Daytona. Like, he wasn't anywhere around. He just wasn't there. It's a different animal. So I too have 2 Fords going out in the round of 12, but 1 Penske and 1 RFK. So I have Logano leaving the round of 12. I have Keselowski leaving the round of 12. He's like we said earlier, he's very consistent along with Christopher Buescher, but he's not quite there with Christopher Buescher. Then I agree, Bubba Wallace. I don't see him being able to carry so much momentum. I think a round of 12 berth will be very good for that team and that driver's confidence this season, but I don't see him with the talent left in the field. I don't see him going further than that. And then I have another surprise. It's a B last name, but it's Christopher Bell. I just haven't seen enough out of that team recently. Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., really strong. Ty Gibbs out of the playoffs, still strong. But Christopher Bell, where's he been since the beginning of the season?
Right.
So I can't see him putting enough together, and with such a volatile round in the playoffs, I don't like it. I don't see it happening.
I mean, we saw that last year with Bell too, and he got hot right in the middle of the playoffs and made that championship push.
Yeah.
And especially now that he has the 54 pit crew, I don't know, man. I think he'd be a scary driver to look out for.
It's definitely a drastic pick, if you will. But I don't think that the Gibbs organization, we're seeing a lot of parity from teams in this playoff. It's the most race teams that have ever qualified for a playoff. And I think with all these teams having 1 or 2 cars in, Gibbs is going to be spread thin. And I think their resources are going to go towards the 19 and the 11 before they hit the 20.
Yeah.
All right. So my 4 drivers I got going out. I think Kyle Busch is definitely going to be eliminated here. I don't know, the Roval, it just doesn't really suit him. And then Talladega, there's just madness. But I'm going to that race, so who knows? He might actually advance to the next round. Yeah, I guess his best bet would be winning Texas to advance to the next round, but no, I don't really see that happening.
RCR is so strong at Texas for whatever godforsaken reason. Freaking Austin Dillon can win Texas in an RCR car, then Kyle Dan Busch can win at Texas in an RCR car for sure.
Yeah. Who knows? I still look at that Austin Dillon win as just bullshit. Again,
it was the aero pack. It was literally
no one could pass him
because of the 550 horsepower pack. That's why he won.
Yeah. Anyway, my next driver that I got being eliminated is that 5 car of Kyle Larson.
Wow.
It just hasn't really felt like the kind of year for Kyle Larson where he's gonna make a deep playoff run. Just hasn't even looked like the same guy since 2021. Where has he been? And I think he's just going to lack the speed in this round. And I mean, we don't see him ever at the super speedways. And I don't know, the Roval's a crapshoot too, so we'll see. Yeah, it's a big take right there.
That'd be a big one to lose right there, because I have Kyle Larson going very far in my bracket.
Would be huge.
That would be huge to see him eliminated in the round of 12.
Kyle Larson is in my championship 4.
Wow, holy shit.
I will admit it too. Kyle Larson is also in my championship 4. So.
that would be insane to lose. But again, we talk about how crazy this round is with 3 very, very different tracks. So who knows? It's about getting through the round of 12. And if he can't, again, even the best driver will get knocked out of the round of 12 if they're not careful. Yep. So I don't hate it. It's just, it's kind of shocking because you kind of just expect Kyle Larson right now in the prime of his career to be able to perform, even if he's between a rock and a hard place, even if he's underperforming as a driver. Kyle Larson underperforming is not the same as I don't know who Daniel Suarez underperforming, it's not the same thing. So I don't see it happening. Not with him and Cliff Daniels.
Yeah.
But with Larson, though, Larson's always his motto is he's been checkers or wreckers.
Checkers or wreckers. That's very true.
We will see. That would be
very
bold.
True.
That'd be huge. I would love to see. I don't want to see Kyle Larson in championship 4. So I'm all for it. Kyle Larson can get eliminated in the round of 16. Sign me up. Let's go.
That's just what I'm thinking. Like, the guy is checkers or wreckers, and we're going to a couple tracks where you might have to make one of those moves, or someone's going to make one of those moves on him, especially with the Charlotte Roval. We have seen that before in the past. Mm-hmm. And the only way you're going to get around someone at Texas nowadays is you're going to have to move them out of the way, because it's so hard to pass at that track. So I really do think that he might get caught up in one of those situations. And guys, we have freaking Talladega in this round too.
I almost want to ignore Talladega in this round. I want to say this about 2 races and a lottery.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So
but even Talladega is not as intense as the Daytona cutoff race.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it went like what, caution free aside from the stage breaks last year?
Yeah, I think so.
So,
yeah, but I got NASCAR's greatest of all time, as everyone seems to claim him, getting eliminated in the round of 12.
That's wild. Okay.
All right, and then my next driver is that number 45 of Tyler Reddick. He's had great speed. I don't think he's got speed to get out of this round. And obviously his pit crew, it's so worrisome with that 23-11 pit crew. So that just worries me. And then that 22 of Joey Logano.
Like you guys were saying. You have
Bubba.
I got Bubba going into the next round. Texas, I mean, a mile and a half, it's Texas. 23-11 is really good at those tracks. Mm-hmm. And we know Bubba at the super speedways. That guy likes to lead there. So I think he's going to have a very good round. I don't think he's going to have to worry about the Roval. I think he's going to have 2 great first races, and then he can just coast and just stay out of trouble during the Roval, and he'll be in the round of 8.
I'm not going to lie to you. When I was picked, this was the hardest one to pick for me. And I just went with what felt right. Even if it didn't make too much logical sense, it just seemed like a gut feeling more than anything. So if your gut's telling you that Bubba's going to get through the round of 12, more power to you. Over Kyle Larson.
Yeah. Wow. That's what I'm feeling.
That's how playoffs in general are designed. They're designed to be a little bit shocking. Not always the best car or the best team wins the championship at the end of the year.
Right.
Yeah, we have seen this in the past where a very dominant car doesn't even make it to the round of 8. So, yeah. Or the round of 4.
What about the 4 car?
Well, he didn't make it to the round of 4.
When he tried to just kill Kyle Busch at Martinsville.
Hey, man, he went through a lot of shit those 3 weeks. Leave him alone. He was just taking his anger out.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
All right, so go ahead, Tom.
On to the round of 8. Is that what we're talking here?
On to the round of 8. We got Las Vegas, Homestead, Miami, and Martinsville Speedway. 2 great mile-and-a-half tracks, and a short track that I worry about just because of what's going on with this car and the tires. So
You
honestly,
hope it's like 90 degrees in Virginia that day. I think
Yeah, right.
on a hot, slick
yeah,
racetrack, I think that's the only redeeming quality.
yeah, that would be nice, but it is going to be in late October, so I highly doubt that.
You've
But
got this shite package, and then you also have to have that race follow up. Do you realize how many times we're going to see the replay of Ross Chastain riding the wall?
oh yeah, they're gonna
It's
overplay the
all they're
hell
going
out
to
of it.
talk about. It's all they're going to talk about. So like we're going to get tired of that. Even though my jaw still
don't
gets
even
sore every time I see it,
don't
but
even
Yeah.
remind me of that. I literally was
mm-hmm.
shaking Ian's hand because I thought Denny was in the championship four last year, and then all of a sudden, here comes this crazy
And he's
son of a
just
bitch
the
on a
one car
four. I'm
rear
like,
ends Denny
what?
at the line. You're like, where
What
did he
just
come from?
Take a
happened?
look at what he did.
Oh my goodness! But no, we're gonna see that replay a lot. It's gonna be a tough race to follow up for Martinsville cutoff race.
Yeah,
But again,
but
you got two classic NASCAR racetracks in this one, and that's where my thought went to picking the people who are going to exit this round and the people who are going to go on to Phoenix.
yeah, definitely. But you guys went first for the last two rounds, so I'm gonna start off here with this one. So I think the driver that's going to do really, really, really well in this round is going to be the driver of the 24, William Byron. We're going to a track of Homestead, Miami, and Martinsville Speedway, where this guy has just kicked ass in the past at this track.
W's.
Yep. So he's going to win at one of these and put himself into the round of four. And then we got Mr. Martin Truex Jr. I got him advancing as well to the round of four. Again, we're going to mile and a half. This is his bread and butter. We saw him dominate 2017.
Mile and a half, Martin.
Yeah, mile and a half, Martin. That's for sure. Denny Hamlin. I feel like he's a shoe in for the championship four. This guy has been Mr. Consistency this year. He's been having some great wins, great battles with a bunch of different drivers, like that 5 of Kyle Larson.
You're gonna put the 17 in the championship four, aren't you?
Nope. I got the
okay.
17 eliminated.
Oh, okay.
Are you putting Brad Keselowski in there?
I am not putting Brad Keselowski in there. You guys want to keep guessing?
I'm lost to who you have left. I don't have your list in front of me.
Bubba Wallace in the championship four?
Nope.
No. He doesn't have Bubba Wallace. Who's the last one? Kevin Harvick.
The 4 of Kevin Harvick
go all the way.
Is going all the way to the championship four, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, folks. At least I'm not so delusional that I have Kyle Busch going to the championship four, because I don't. He's out in the round of 8 on my bracket, just so you know.
I'm not on crack.
I find it hard. I would put both RFK cars in the championship four before I put Kevin Harvick in the championship four this season.
I just got a good feeling, man. These are his last 10 races. He's driving with a purpose. He's got to go out and race for a championship.
I'll put Josh Berry in next year's championship four before I put Kevin Harvick in this year's.
Oh, okay, buddy.
Like, oh my goodness, that Stuart Haas just doesn't have a championship four. Like, again, like we said,
but it's Kevin Harvick, guys.
Consistency. Yeah. Okay. I truly can't argue with that, because I've seen him do some crazy.
That's all
shit.
I gotta say. This guy, he can win one race and then he can just pull off like 4 in a row.
Again, we didn't even think that to guess Kevin Harvick in the championship, because it's so unfathomable to both of us. Again, he's out in both of our rounds of 16.
Yeah.
Where does that fall on the scales of justice? Like, does he make it through the 12 and get out in the 8? I don't know.
Dude, that's why I love the NASCAR playoffs, because anything can happen.
They call him a closer for the reason. That's that.
So,
sure.
Gonna close off his career with a championship.
I'm happy for your championship four appearance, Ian.
Thank you.
So what? That makes your championship for Byron, Truex, Hamlin, and Harvick.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got very similar championship fours. I also think this is going to be a great. This round of 8 is just. I think William Byron, he's just been the man all year, like breakout season, and I think that's going to lead to a championship four berth. He's got very good racetracks in this round for him. So Byron, 100% is making the championship four. I also think that this is a year for Martin Truex Jr. as well. Martin Truex Jr., we didn't know what was going to happen with him, but now he's coming back next year because he's having fun again. He's winning races. Last year, he was having no fun. He wasn't winning races. He missed
didn't
the
even make the
playoffs
playoffs
last year. He missed the playoffs last year. So he's going to go from missing the playoffs last year to going back to racing for a championship at Phoenix. And like you said, Ian, Denny Hamlin, he's the man. He's consistent. Also, very good racetracks for him as well. So I have Denny in there as well. And then my last guy is the 5 of Kyle Larson. I like these racetracks with Kyle Larson, Las Vegas, race winner at. And then we've always said for years and years and years that Kyle Larson, Homestead, Homestead, Homestead. But has he won? Has Kyle Larson won a race in the Cup Series at Homestead? I do not think so. Unless he won.
I'm jumping on racing reference.
Yeah, somebody jump on
that. It's got to be,
because,
if he did, it had to be 2021.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because as much as we've talked about Kyle Larson and Homestead, the success just hasn't been there for him. But he won Martinsville this past spring, a track that he claimed to himself that he sucked at. And he went out and he won it. So that's why I think that he is going to make the championship for, because he's going to have success at all 3 of these racetracks. So that leaves Reddick, Keselowski, Bell, and Christopher Buescher. Try again next year, boys. But great for the RFK cars to have round of 8 berths.
Yeah. Larson, winner 10, 23, 22.
So he won last year.
Yeah. Talk about a forgettable race, I guess. He won last year.
Huh.
All right.
Well, I'll be damned.
Cool. Good for him. Good job, Kyle Larson.
All right, Tom, who do you have as your final 4?
I said in our race recap episode, that the cream is going to rise to the top. Gentlemen, might I ask you who the cream of the crop is from a team perspective in the NASCAR Cup Series? Who is it? What teams would you say are the top teams?
Hendrick,
got it.
Joe Gibbs.
Hendrick and Gibbs. Yeah.
Hendrick and Gibbs. There's my final 4. Hendrick and Gibbs. I've got Byron and Larson versus Truex and Hamlin for the championship.
God damn, Tom, we really were thinking.
We're right there. Our round of 8 and our round of 12 are a little bit different, but Buescher's having a great run, but like I said in the last episode, are they hot because they're good, or are they hot because they're hot, which is different. So I don't see Buescher making it to the 4. I think the round of 8 would be an exceptional year for RFK, and that's what they should strive for. Kyle Busch, too inconsistent. I think if he squeaks into the round of 8, there's no chance he makes the championship 4. Then I got Tyler Reddick. He's had a solid year. He's had speed, but like you said, I could probably switch Reddick with somebody. Probably Reddick with Bell is probably where I went wrong in mine. But have Reddick leave at the round of 12 and put Bell out, go into the round of 4. And then Ryan Blaney, again, he's just around, but we haven't seen him do much, and I just don't think Ford has a chance this year. So, yeah, 24, the 5, the 19, and the 11 for my championship 4 going to Phoenix.
All right. Who do you have as your championship pick, Tom? Number 11.
Gotta break the Denny spell. Jeff Gluck, Jordan Bianchi on their podcast said, how fitting would it be for Denny to go win a championship at the race where he was penalized at the track? I think it would make an excellent storyline. I think it's time. I think Denny deserves to be considered a champion in our sport. It's amazing that he hasn't gotten one yet. Right. I think it's time for Denny Hamlin to pull it off.
All right, Nick, who's your champion?
As much as I would love to have that happen, it's going to have to wait another year for Denny. I think his teammate in the 19 car, Martin Truex Jr., I think he's going to get it done. This has just been a year. This has been a year full of memories for Martin Truex Jr. He's winning races again. He's having fun. He's fast almost everywhere that we go. He's looking like the old Martin Truex Jr., which is scary for the field. So, yeah, I think car number 19 is going to get it done at Phoenix, and he's going to be your 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion.
Win at the beginning, win at the end. I like it. Start with the clash, end with the champ.
Yeah, would be pretty cool. But my pick, Tom, I'm going with you. I'm going with that 11 car, Denny Hamlin.
I thought you were going to say Kevin Harvick. I was about to scold you. I was going to absolutely scold you.
Guys, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. But I mean, that's what my heart wants for sure.
Of course.
Yeah, but my brain says James Dennis Hamlin. Yeah, I think, and he's not scared of moving anyone for it. So
no,
let's go, Denny.
He's got the right attitude this year, and he's shown it before. And yeah, it's been a hell of a year for him. It's come at negative press, it's come at positive press. I just think he's doing all the right things and at the right time. And anything less, like you said, Nick, you said he has to wait another year. I don't know if he's got a lot more time of dominance left in him. So it's now or never, I'd say. This is Denny Hamlin is a one-time Cup Series champion, and it's got to be this year. If he doesn't do it this year, he's a zero-time Cup Series champion.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we've
it all depends what the contract. The contract's going to do a lot. As long as he's driving for Gibbs, he's going to be fast. I mean,
yeah,
that's how I look at it. I mean, look at
first ballot Hall of Famer all the way for Denny Hamlin.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's 3-time Daytona 500 champion. He better be.
He's won everything there is to win in the sport, except
for a damn title.
And it's and not that a championship needs to define a driver's career, but it does a hell of a lot to help it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, that'll about wrap it up for our bracket challenge. Man, you boys brought some great brackets. I'm excited to see how we all fare out. I hope I'm right, because mine is fucking crazy.
Sometimes you got to be a little crazy with these brackets. You need a Cinderella story to make March Madness work for you. So
yeah, we've seen crazier shit happen with these
October
playoffs.
Madness going on with NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
I do want to say one thing though. With I want to go back in time a little bit to talk about the beginning of this year when Chase Elliott broke his leg, and all the way back to 2015. How at first I was saying I wanted Chase Elliott to make the playoffs and win the championship to kind of prove that Kyle Busch's championship was legitimate. But now I'd say it's even more legitimate, because what Kyle did was incredible.
Yep.
Coming back from injury, because with Bowman and Chase Elliott both missing because of injuries, that sucks. And it's hard to get right back to the winning ways. And we've seen that with two incredible drivers not even making the playoffs. So anyway, I know that's kind of off topic, but I've just been thinking about that lately. It almost more legitimizes it in my brain.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, that will wrap it up for our bracket challenge. Thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure to tune in next week to our race review, and we'll check in with our brackets and see how they fare out. So guys, comment down below who you think your first 4 drivers are that are going to be eliminated in the round of 16. Make sure to like our video and subscribe to our channel. You can check us out on Twitter and Instagram. So for the Stock Car Spectacle, I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Nick Denzel.
I'm Tom Hopland.
We'll see you guys next time.